Live from Plainfield High School, it's Indiana High School boys basketball as the Plainfield High School Quakers are set to take on the Whiteland High School Warriors. Plainfield enters tonight 0-1 on the season, losing in blowout fashion last week against rival Avon. They have a good opportunity to get their first win of the year tonight against the Warriors, who come in 1-1 thus far on the year. Good evening, I am JP Sinclair, and this is the AudioSportsOnline.net coverage of Plainfield basketball. You're listening to Plainfield Varsity Basketball on AudioSportsOnline.com. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Plainfield Self-Storage. Plainfield Self-Storage is located on North Carr Road. They feature 24-hour access and lighted secure storage. Plainfield Self-Storage office hours are Monday through Friday from 8:30 until 5. You can stop in or call 838-7027 for more information. Jensen Pools and More, the Backyard Place, located just 1 mile north of Heartland Crossing on Highway 67 in Canby. They have everything for all your swimming pool needs, from above-ground pools to in-ground pools. Jensen sells and installs them all. And during the winter months, we offer mattresses direct from the factory of King Coil, a leading manufacturer of American-made mattresses. Queen set starting at $329, king set starting at $429. Guaranteed lowest prices around. Jensen Pools is located at 7302 South Kentucky Avenue in Canby, or you can visit them online at jensenpools.com. As I said, this is the AudioSportsOnline.com coverage of Plainfield basketball. Love to welcome you tonight. Spoke to head coach Weaver before the game. Asked him what his expectations were coming into the season. He said that this is a team that should improve throughout the year. When asked about the strengths and weaknesses, he said it was a mixed bag. He thought the strength of this team was their chemistry, which could be reflected in the shared scoring of the team, particularly against Avon. Let's go ahead and take a look at that game. It was their State Route 267 rival Avon. They lost the game 48-72. Plainfield had 3 players that ended up in double figures, led by senior Bobby Jensen, who scored 14 on the night. Freshman Nathan Mills was particularly impressive, scoring 12 points and grabbing 5 rebounds in that loss. I'd imagine to see him continue to get more game time experience as the season goes on with the talent level that he has. And, of course, like I said, they're coming in action here tonight. It's our pleasure to be with you tonight. Like I said, Bobby Jensen scored 14 points in that loss. Kurkowski was also very well. He's a sophomore. He had 11 points on the night. He also pulled down 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. So Kurkowski had a very, very good night as well against Avon. But tonight is a new night as Whiteland comes into the game. You have to look at some of the keys for tonight's game for Plainfield. They have to get off to a fast start. You cannot get out to the start you got off to against Avon. I mean, basketball is a game of back-and-forth runs, and you need to keep pace with the other team first and foremost. And then, if one player has a hot hand, you have to be able to get the orange to them. Like I said, they had a lot of good spacing and a lot of good opportunities in that game against Avon. They just weren't able to wrap it up and get that one player on a scoring run that can really put you forward in a game. But like I said, Kurkowski was very impressive. Mills was impressive off the bench. And Jensen was particularly impressive down low. But it's really going to be on senior Mayberry to be able to try and get this team in their offense early and get the ball up the court to try and get them into the set that they want to run, because that was something they really struggled with against Avon. But James Mayberry is one of the senior leaders on this team. I'm quite sure he'll be able to do it. We'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll continue to talk up this game. You're listening to AudioSportsOnline.com coverage of Plainfield High School basketball. Welcome back to Plainfield High School. I'm JP Sinclair, and this is AudioSportsOnline.net coverage of Plainfield basketball. As you can see on the screen right now, Whiteland is on the court getting their warm-ups on. There's 2 minutes and 18 seconds before we get set for the tip, but this is a very, I was looking at the Whiteland team, and I was really surprised to see the size on this team. They have a couple of 6-footers, including a 6'4", and they do have some size down low, but also at the guard position, they do have some a little bit smaller players than usual. I mean, you have a 5'7" and a 5'8" out there, so it'll be interesting. I mean, you know, Mayberry himself's only 5'9", so it'll be interesting seeing how these two teams match up. But it was really interesting to me. You know, Bloomington always has the red and white warm-up jumpers, if you will, for the pants. It was really interesting because both these teams have the similar stripe pattern on their pants when they were warming up before, as Plainfield takes the court now and they get set to warm up. But it was really interesting because you had Whiteland wearing their blue and white jumpers for the pants, the track pants, if you will, and then, of course, the black and blue configuration for the Plainfield Quakers. So it was very interesting to see. That's definitely a Hoosier tradition, becoming a Hoosier tradition, it seems. So great to see Indiana High School basketball back in action. As we talked about, if you get the chance, the McDonald's Hendricks County Sports Show was this week on Wednesday. It's archived, of course, on AudioSportsOnline.com. You can always go there and check it out. I am the host for this season, but it was very, we got to talk with Brownsburg's new head coach, and it was definitely very, filled with a lot of different things going on. And we did talk up Plainfield a little bit, and it was also very nice to, when we were talking about Plainfield, you know, we talked about the Avon loss, which was, of course, tough, but we also talked about different sports going on from all around Hendricks County. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the starters for Plainfield. Senior James Mayberry, as we talked about, will be the starting point guard. He's a senior, 5'9". Joining him in that backcourt is 6-foot junior Garrett Patton. He also plays football for the Plainfield Quakers. Max Kurkowski will be playing in the front court for the Quakers. And we'll get to the rest of the starters when we come back after the national anthem.
Starting lineup, it is now time to announce the sixth man for tonight's team. The winner of the
Welcome back. AudioSportsOnline.com coverage of Plainfield High School Quaker basketball. I'm JP Sinclair. As we were talking about the starters for the Plainfield Quakers, Max Kurkowski does play in that front court. He is a 6'5" sophomore. He's combo guard forward. Plays kind of a wing position, but very active, as we talked about after that Avon game. So hopefully he can follow that up with a nice performance here. Of course, Max Kurkowski would love to say hi to Foxy Roxy in Wisconsin. She is Max Kurkowski's aunt. It's one of the great things that I love about doing this for Audio Sports Online is it gives the relatives out of town a chance to see, you know, their nephews or nieces or grandsons, what have you. But that's one of the great things about Audio Sports Online is you can go online and view the games, and then also, besides that, you also get a chance to watch the archive games. So you can even go and watch that Avon game if you so choose. So getting back to the starters, Jacob Maple will be playing down in the power forward position. Maple is a 6'2" sophomore forward. He is also a two-sport athlete. He's a running back for the football team. And then, of course, Bobby Jensen will be playing down low at the center position. He's a 6'5" senior. And actually, it looks like getting the start tonight over Maple is going to be Nathan Mills. So, surprise news of the night. Talked about how surprised and how pleased I was with his performance as we get set for the tip. No surprise to see that Coach Weaver saw the talent that was there. As we get set to tip, Hubler out there against Mills. Mills wins the tip and tips it back to Mayberry. Mayberry sets it up at the top of the key, and we're off and away. Plainfield wearing their white uniforms with their red lettering as Nathan Mills puts it up for 2. Whiteland wearing their blue uniforms with the white trim. Back the other way, right corner, Stidham. Now back to Atkins, who drives baseline. Gets caught by Krakowski and tosses it up down low and kicks it right back out. Up for 3 and in by John Hubler. Mayberry brings it back the other way, crossing the timeline for the Quakers. Looks left side for Jensen, now over to Krakowski, left wing. Now right, far side for Mayberry, back up top, Krakowski free, up and bounces out. Rebounded down low by the Warriors. Fighting for it on the floor is Mayberry. He'll toss it right up to Mills, who puts it back in for 2. And very quickly, the Quakers have a 4-3 lead. Whistle down low, see what the call is. Delay of game warning against Plainfield. Back the other way comes Teray Moss. Gets it over right side for Stidham. Kicks it right corner 3 on its way. Bounces off the top of the backboard for Hubler. Rebounded down low by Krakowski. Mayberry now has it on the other side for the Plainfield Quakers. Kicks it over right side. Jensen right back to Mayberry. Goes up with it. And it'll be blocked down low by Stidham. Out of bounds the last touch against the Warriors. Do not have number 40 for Whiteland on either of my rosters, so as soon as I get an update on who that is, I will let you know. Ref's trying to sort something out. Looks like the ref is throwing somebody out who is here supporting Whiteland. Apparently wanted him taking a seat a different place besides beyond the basket. Jensen to inbound, finds Krakowski right corner, looks to drive in, and he traveled with it, so possession goes back to Whiteland. Of course, the student section out in full force tonight, as you can see right there, wearing their jerseys. It must be a retro jersey tonight. Saw plenty of Reggie Millers for the Indiana Pacers, representing the hometown hero. Well, not hometown hero, but he is a hero in the Hoosier State, nonetheless. Atkins now has it. Right wing, looks inside, stolen by Mayberry. Mayberry looks for Krakowski open court. Krakowski all alone, goes up strong to try and dunk it, and is fouled down low by Stidham. That'll be Stidham's first, team's first.
Fouls on Jacob Stidham. His first foul, team foul number 1.
Quakers still lead 4-3, 6:06 left to go in the first. Krakowski at the line for 2. First one is up and in. Kurkowski the other night was 0 of 1 at the free throw line, but he makes both here. Moss brings it back the other way for Whiteland, crossing the timeline. Looks right side of the key, and a foul whistle down low. That one will be against Patton. Hit Hubler on a little bit of a block. That's Patton's first, team's first. Hubler to inbound. Gets it to Atkins. Atkins controls. Near side. Look to drive in. Whistle down low. Wait and see what the call is. It is on Mark Dahm, who checked in at last timeout. That's his first foul. Team's second. Inbounds goes to Hubler. Hubler sets it up right side. Now over top of the key to Atkins. Atkins controls. Looks over right side for Moss. Moss near side. Looks to use a pick by Stidham. Gets over to Stidham, top of the key. Stidham looks down low. Shot up and good. That's Bryce Staker. Normally wears number 55, but wearing 40 tonight. Jensen has it, top of the key for the Quakers. Looks over left corner. 3 on its way. Short for Mayberry. Rebound down low by Jensen. Kicks it back out. Mayberry. Kurkowski now has a look. Top of the key for 3. Dribbles into the lane instead and misses the floater. Mayberry will control the long rebound all the way in the backcourt. Uses a Jensen screen. Go right into the paint and will draw the foul on the drive to the... Or I think he actually traveled with it on his way to the basket, I think was the call. So it goes back to Whiteland.
Quakers, number 33, Jacob Maple.
Maple back into the game to give Jensen a break for the Quakers. Moss brings it back the other way for the Warriors. Mayberry, Kurkowski, Maple, Mills, and Dahm all on the floor for the Quakers. And there was a foul down low for holding. It'll be on Mark Dahm. That's his second. And he'll check out with 2 fouls. Whiteland also makes a substitution, and Tom Purdy checks in place of Staker. Atkins to inbound. Gets it right underneath the basket. And it was put up no good by Stidham. Out of bounds last touch by Plainfield, so they'll get another crack at it. Moss on the inbounds, and it finds its way top of the key to Atkins. Now over to Moss, left corner. He brings it far side, puts up a running floater, no good. Rebound underneath, put back. It's no good by Stidham. Still putting it back up is Purdy, and it's finally rebounded by the Quakers, and Mayberry controls. 6-5 lead for the Quakers, 4:33 left to go in the first. Mayberry finds Mills far side, into the corner it goes for Patton. Cross-court pass to Mayberry for 3, and he drills it. 9-5 now for the Quakers. And another whistle. And this time it'll be an offensive foul. I believe the foul is on Hubler. Wait and see. Check that. They're going to call it on Atkins. That's his first, team's second. Motter on to the court now for the Quakers. He replaces Patton. Quick 3 for Motter, no good. Left corner, rebound down low. Mayberry looks for Kurkowski in the lane, can't find him, and long rebounds controlled by Mayberry. Mayberry will reset the offense. He's guarded by Moss. Looks over near side for Motter. Motter top of the key now. Kurkowski 3 on its way. Right side. Off front iron. Rebound down low. Put up and in by Jacob Maple. And Whiteland's head coach, Matt Wadsworth, will take his first timeout to get his team reset. So our score at 3:42 mark in the first is 11-5 in favor of Plainfield. So very quick action for the Quakers, and they're pulling ahead. Just the exact opposite of what happened against Avon. They really struggled against Avon, but are finding a way to get nice buckets here. Nathan Mills is once again continues to be particularly impressive off of the, he didn't come off the bench. He's actually starting now in his second game. Gets the starting nod from head coach Weaver. So very impressive to see him on the floor as he's got a quick 4 points for the Quakers. Bringing it up is Bergeline. He looks over right side, now in the right corner. Well, check that back up top. It goes for Atkins. Now it's right corner for Hubler. He looks inside, throws it up to his teammate Atkins down low, and it's lost and controlled by the Quakers. Back the other way very quickly for Plainfield. Mills has it down low, puts up a shot, gets front iron, but nothing else. And Atkins controls the rebound, and we come back the other way for the Warriors. Atkins controls in the paint near the free throw line, kicks it back out for Bergeline. Bergeline thought about driving in and thinks better of it. Bergeline still controls, and he'll find Hubler near side. Inside pass off of the screen, no good. Shot up by Stidham, and it's rebound down low by Purdy. And Hubler will control, and they'll reset the offense after the rebound. Bergeline kicks it to Atkins, who drives baseline far side. Kicks it back out for Stidham. Back to Atkins. Shot up, no good, too strong. And rebound fought for, last touched out of bounds against Plainfield.
Into the game for Whiteland, number 10, Trent Sandlin. For the Quakers, number 15.
Mayberry gets his first rest of the game. And Whiteland controls. Sandlin has it, finds Purdy over left side. He dribble penetrates in and will draw the foul.
Fouls on Jacob Maple, his first foul, team foul number 4. Into the game for the Quakers, number 31, Max Krakowski.
Looks like Clarence Jackson was in the, or check that, Jacob Maple was in the game and has to check back out. Got a foul, but also got cut, so trainers are attending to him.
Fouls on Kyler Nichols, his first foul, team foul number 5.
And very quickly, another foul on Kyler Nichols. That's Plainfield's 5th foul. Goes to Atkins, who gets blocked down low by Kurkowski. What a great block by Kurkowski. Just followed Stidham all the way on the shot attempt, but actually it's going to go down as a foul. I thought it was a very nice block, but that's Kurkowski's first, team 6, so that'll result in free throws. First free throw no good by Stidham.
Into the game for Whiteland, number 51, John Hubler.
So on the floor for the Plainfield Quakers to reset, you have Motter, Patton, Nichols, Jensen, and Kurkowski. Second free throw up, and it's no good by Stidham. Rebound's controlled by Plainfield. They'll kick it out to Motter at the top of the key. Motter looks left side. Kurkowski free on its way. It's no good. And it's rebound down low by Sandlin. Sandlin controls it. Top of the key. Looks to drive in. Throws up a wild shot as he felt the contact and gets it to roll. I think the refs are discussing whether or not the foul came before the shot or not.
Foul's on Keegan Motter, his first foul, team
Foul is on Motter. That's his first, team 7. In the bonus now is Whiteland, so it'll result in free throws. So Bergeline at the line for 2. We'll check that one because it's only the bonus. Back the other way, Kurkowski controls the left corner. There'll be a blocking foul whistled on Purdy. That's his first. Team's third.
Fouls on Tom Purdy, his first foul, team foul number 3. In the game for Whiteland, number 4, Taria Moss.
Nichols set to inbound, looks for Motter, left corner, can't find him, and will throw it up to Patton, who kicks it over to Motter. Motter right far side, looks up top of the key for Kurkowski, and he'll hand off to Motter. Motter now finds right side Patton, and he looks to drive, can't find anything, he'll hand off Motter. Check that, Nichols. Nichols brings it up, top of the key against Moss. They'll hand off Patton, far side. Patton looks to drive, can't find anything, kicks it up to Jensen. He gets blocked down low by Hubler. And Whiteland controls. Back the other way, 3 on its way, too strong from Hubler, and long rebounds controlled by Patton. Patton looks open court for Nichols. Nichols tried to drive baseline. It closed very quickly, kicks it back out for Motter. Motter, top of the key, will reset the offense. He's picked up by Moss. Now over, 3 on its way from Kurkowski. Looks good, and it's in. 50 seconds, 14-5 lead for Plainfield. Moss controls it near side, looks inside, and finds Hubler. Hubler puts it up, no good. Rebound fought for and controlled by Jensen. He'll get it to Motter to bring it up. Patton has it. Left wing. He's guarded against Moss. Kicks it to nobody. Jensen running for it, and he'll get tangled up with Bergeline. And it looks like the foul will be on Jensen.
Fouls on Bobby Jensen, his first foul.
That is Jensen's first. Team's 8th.
Into the game for Whiteland, number 14, Jared Atkinson, number 25, Jacob Stidham. Into your Quakers, number 40, Nathan Mills. Shooting one of the bonus for Whiteland, Jordan Muirland.
Bergeline at the line for 2. First one is up and in. Quaker lead, still 14-6, 25 seconds left to go. Bergeline's second free throw also up and in. Nichols has it and will bring it up for Plainfield, 22 seconds. He's picked up by Bergeline. Kicks over right side for Motter. Motter guarded one-on-one against Moss. Kicks it over to Nichols. Nichols uses a Jensen screen, drives in the lane, kicks out Kurkowski now, left corner. Kurkowski looks to drive baseline, had it knocked away. It's picked up by Nichols, who throws up a prayer, does not get it to go as it bounces off of the backboard side of it. So Quaker lead by 7 after 1. This is the AudioSportsOnline.com coverage of Plainfield High School basketball. We get set to start the second. Whiteland thus far struggling to score, but they have had a little bit of offense. Hubler did hit the 3, and they've gotten to the free throw line, so that always helps. We'll take a quick break and then come back for the rest of the first half. You're listening to AudioSportsOnline.com. Welcome back. On the floor for Plainfield, Kurkowski, Mayberry, Motter, Mills, and Jensen. Foul whistled down low. Off the ball, foul. Looks to go against Plainfield, so that'll result in free throws. Foul is on Kurkowski. That's his second.
His second foul, team foul number 9. Shooting one, the bonus for Whiteland, John Hubler.
So Hubler at the line for the Warriors. Hubler's first free throw up and in.
Into the game for the Quakers, number 11, Aaron Patton.
Patton checks in for Kurkowski. Hubler's second free throw also good. Mayberry will control. Set to cross the timeline. It's picked up by Moss. Kicks it over near side for Patton. Patton kicks it back to Mayberry. Now goes right side for Motter. Motter brings it back to Mayberry. Top of the key. Rotates it over left side for Patton. Patton looks inside. Can't find anything. Rainbows it over to right side for Motter. Back to Mayberry. Mayberry will drive. Kicks out. Motter 3 on its way. Short. And long rebounds controlled by Hubler. And Warriors will bring it back the other way. Right side to Stidham. Back up top for number 30. Now rotates it over to Moss. Back over to number 30. Moss now controls top of the key. He'll reset the offense. Kicks it over baseline. Number 30. Back up top to Moss. Puts up a 3. It's no good. Rebound down low by Patton. Mayberry controls. Kicks left side for Motter. Jensen had it at the free throw line. Back up top, Mayberry. Patton controls. Back up top to Mayberry. Good ball movement from Plainfield, at least from the outside. But not enough side-to-side rotation to make Whiteland work. Pass goes into Mills. He throws up a nice shot. Back the other way. A running hook shot up and in by Staker. Mayberry quickly brings it back the other way. Jensen had it, and he'll kick it back, but it's controlled by Hubler. Now inside it goes for the Warriors. Up and under move, no good by Stidham, and Patton will clear the glass. 5:58, Quakers lead 16-11 in the second. Mayberry controls, looks over left side for Motter. Back up top, Mayberry. Quick touch pass into Jensen. Now Mills controls right baseline. Mayberry has it up top. Rotates it over the left side for Motter. Mayberry once again controls up top against Moss. Rainbow pass over right side to Patton. Patton controls, kicks it back up top. Mayberry now over near side for Motter. Patton now controls it, top of the key, back over to Motter. Now Mayberry controls, far side, kicks it into Jensen. Thought about the free throw line jumper, kicks it back to Motter instead. Motter, three-pointer on its way, and nothing but the bottom of the barrel. Warriors bring it back the other way, and Moss controls it, top of the key. And beautiful move to go baseline by Moss. Can't get the shot to go in. Rebounded down low by Staker, but it's rebounded by Patton. Mayberry controls it, top of the key, kicks it over to Patton. And Mayberry looks back to Patton. No look pass down low to Mills. Fade away from the baseline, no good off the back of the iron. Rebounded down low by number 30. And back the other way very quickly. Shot up and in by Stidham. Once again, I do apologize. I'm thinking number 30, at least for the JV, is Michael Valley. He's not on the varsity roster. When I get confirmation on that, I'll let you know. I do apologize about that. But either way, the Quakers lead 19-13, 4:23 left to go in the second. So using the bonus, Whiteland's starting to work their way back into the ball game. So I'm sure head coach Weaver's trying to draw up a plan. Once again, we've seen great ball movement from Plainfield, at least from the outside, but there's not enough side-to-side movement because the ball's not going down low to touch Jensen and Mills. So it's really not making Whiteland work too much, but at least they are moving the ball rather efficiently in the first half. So we'll see if that keeps up for the Quakers. You're listening to Plainfield Varsity Basketball on audiosportsonline.com. I'm JP Sinclair. On the floor, Kurkowski, Maple, Motter, Mayberry, and Mills. I do like this lineup because a lot of those players on the floor can hit from long range. Pass is out of bounds. I don't think Maple was quite ready for that pass. Mayberry did put a lot of mustard on it, but it's out of bounds. Last touch by Maple. Moss will bring it back the other way for the Warriors, crossing the 10-second logo. Now over right side for Atkins, rotating around now. Far side for Hubler. Moss has it, back to Atkins, looks baseline, can't find anything. Kicks it back to Moss. Moss on the dribble penetration, throws up a floater and gets it to go.
Basket by Jordan Moss.
That's Moss's first. The 5'8" junior guard for the Warriors. And Mayberry's called for a travel, crossing the logo. So give the Warriors another chance to call in the lead. That's only 19:50 now, 3:40 left to go in the first half. Moss controls, now finds Atkins right side, kicks it over right corner for Hubler. Thought about the three, but Atkins now controls up top, looks down low, throws up a hook, but traveling with it before the shot got up, it hit him. So possession goes back to Plainfield. Mills inbounds to Maple, or check that, Mayberry. He brings it up, top of the key, rotates over the left side for Motter. Motter looks down low for Mills, looking for the lob, but Mills was not ready for it, and Mills will be called for a hip check foul, I believe. Check that, no foul, will just be out of bounds, last touch by Plainfield. Kurkowski to inbound. Looks up top for Motter. Motter thought about the three. Dribbles in. Puts up a 17-footer. Airballs it. Moss had the rebound, but it's controlled down low by Maple. Maple gets locked up and will be a jump ball. Possession will stay with Plainfield. Quaker lead down to 4. And trying to get an inbound man. Finally, Mills will do the inbound honors. Looking up top, kicks it over Mayberry, right corner. Mayberry's guarded by Moss. Looks for Motter, decides to rotate it around. 2:55 left to go in the second quarter, excuse me. Motter controls, far side, brings it back up top. Resets the offense, finds Kurkowski now. Now rotates it over left corner for Mayberry. Kicks it up to Mills. He throws up a weird-looking shot, but gets it to go. Mills now with 4 baskets on the night. Moss controls it. Right wing, kicks it over for a 3. That's no good by Hubler. Rebound cleared by Maple. Mayberry brings it back the other way for Plainfield. Has it top of the key. Uses the misdirection by Motter to find Kurkowski, left wing. Back up top of the key for Mills. Picks up his dribble, kicks it back to Motter. Had a 3, but lost it. Picked up his dribble. I think that kind of threw off the shot as he went up for 3, but it was no good. Rebound controlled by the Warriors back the other way. Hubler kicks it. Now it's controlled right side by Bergeline, rotating over to Moss, left corner 3. It's no good. And 2 Quakers fighting for the rebound. It goes out of bounds. Last touch by Patton, or check that, Motter, who was down there.
Also in the game for the Quakers, number 22, Mark Dahl.
21-15 lead for Plainfield. Moss to inbounds. Finds Bergeline. Bergeline into the key. A nice block down low by Mark Dahm, who just checked in. Moss now has it, looks to drive in, and he'll be fouled before the shot. Foul will be on Mark Dahm. That's his third.
Fouls on Mark Dahm. His third foul, team foul number 10.
That's the 10th team foul, so that'll send Moss to the free throw line. He has not been there tonight. The first free throw by Moss is up and in.
In the game for Whiteland, number 30, Michael Valley. For the Quakers, number 3, James Mayberry.
Number 30 is Michael Valley. So I do apologize about that. Does play JV, so I did not have him written down, but we do now.
In the game for the Quakers, number 31.
Second shot up and in by Moss, so he goes 2 of 2 at the line. Bringing it back the other way is Nichols for the Quakers. Controls it, top of the key. Kicks it over left side for Mills. Now Kurkowski in the corner. Back up top, it goes to Mayberry. Kicks it in to Maple. Now back up Mills. Nichols controls right corner. Now back up to Mayberry. Mayberry looks to use a Maple screen. And on the switch, Mayberry drives and gets blocked. So coming back the other way is the Warriors, and skying for the layup is Hubler. Great open court transition there from the Warriors, who now trail 21-19. 49 seconds left to go in the second. Mayberry controls top of the key. Looks over far side for Mills. Now Nichols controls, uses the Mills screen. Brings it over right side. Rotates it over near side for Mayberry. And he'll reset with 31 seconds left in the second. Nichols controls, far side on the right wing, and he'll slow it down even more. 21-19. Shouting out instructions is Nichols. 12 seconds now on the clock. Pressure comes, and I believe the timeout was issued by Plainfield. Not a very good possession there for Plainfield. Nichols got caught in the half-court trap. But Plainfield does lead 21-19, 8.9 seconds left on the clock for the Quakers as they draw up a play. It was a well-timed timeout there from head coach Weaver, because Nichols was very close to getting it over and back. Plainfield Varsity Basketball on AudioSportsOnline.com is brought to you by Plainfield Self-Storage, located on North Carr Road. They feature 24-hour access and lighted secure storage. Plainfield Self-Storage's office hours are Monday through Friday, 8:30 till 5. You can stop in or call 838-7027 for more information as Nichols gets the baseline shot to go down at the end of the first. So he almost turned it over, but comes up the hero as the clock ticks down to 0 to signal the end of the first half, where the Quakers lead 24-19. So very solid first half for Plainfield as they'll look to build on it. We'll take a quick break and then come back and reset the scene for you. You're listening to AudioSportsOnline.net coverage of Plainfield High School basketball. Welcome back. You're listening to Plainfield Varsity Basketball on AudioSportsOnline.com. I'm JP Sinclair. Halftime scores, you can see 24-19 in favor of the Plainfield Quakers. Plainfield had a lot of outside shooting from a couple of different people. James Maryberry had a 3 in the first. Keegan Motter also chucked in a 3, and then Max Churkowski had a 3 of his own. Kyler Nichols also chipped in with 2. Maple had 2. Excuse me. But Nathan Mills was the leading scorer for the Quakers in the first half. He had 8, so he's looked very impressive in his first 2 outings as a freshman for the Quakers. For Whiteland, they had a very balanced scoring attack. Teray Moss had 4 points for him, 2 of those coming at the free throw line. Jordan Berglund had 2 at the free throw line as well. Stidham had 4 go in from the field. He was 0 of 2 at the free throw line, though, so couldn't increase that average. Hubler did have a 3 in the first half to bring his total to 7 to pace the Whiteland Warriors. Excuse me, I just ran back up from the stairs, so I'm still trying to catch my breath. I do apologize about that. But overall, it was a very good first half for Plainfield. They did a very nice job controlling the pace, particularly in the half-court set, really rotating the ball and moving it around from side to side. Got Whiteland moving a little bit, but the defense did not exactly have the, I'm trying to think of a good word, but while it forced Whiteland to move around, it was a lot of side to side, but not necessarily scrambling. They didn't have Whiteland scrambling to try and catch back up on defense, so they weren't able to necessarily get a lot of good open looks. Kurkowski had a very good open look as well as Motter from outside, so I think that's where some of the threes were coming from. But either way, it was a good half-court offense for Plainfield in the first half. For Whiteland, they did most of their damage at the free throw line. That was the bottom line. I mean, Plainfield got into foul trouble early. Mark Dahm already has 3 fouls for Plainfield. The double bonus really hurt them in the first half, so it'll be interesting to see what the foul situation is coming in the second half, but if Plainfield can start to defend without fouling and not send Whiteland to the free throw line, they'll be much better off. You're listening to Plainfield Varsity Basketball on AudioSportsOnline.com. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Plainfield Self-Storage. Plainfield Self-Storage is located on North Carl Road. They feature 24-hour access and line secure storage. Plainfield Self-Storage office hours are Monday through Friday from 8:30 till 5. You can stop in or call 838-7027 for more information. Jensen's Pools & More, the backyard place, located just 1 mile north of Heartland Crossing on Highway 67 in Canby. They have everything for all your swimming pool needs, from above-ground pools to in-ground pools. Jensen sells and installs them all. And during the winter months, they offer mattresses direct from the factory of King Coil, a leading manufacturer of American-made mattresses. Queen sets starting at $329, king sets starting at $429. Guaranteed lowest prices around. Jensen Pools is located at 7302 South Kentucky Avenue in Canby, or you can visit them online at jensenpools.com. As we get set for the second half, I will take a moment to catch my breath. I do apologize for that, but to reset the scene for you, as we talked about earlier, a lot of great students in the student section. I do love the old school jerseys, even the Plainfield Quaker mascots out and getting into the action. But the second half is underway. Atkins controls the left side, kicks it back up top for Moss, who lost the handle, and it'll be over and back. Last touch by Whiteland, so possession goes back to Plainfield. Very quickly checking into the game is Bergeline for Moss. Coach Wadsworth wants to try and settle his young court guard down as Kurkowski gets it in the backcourt and will bring it up to reset the offense. Almost had it picked away by Atkins. Sets himself up for 3 and hits it. Makes a great bullseye basket for Kurkowski. He's now got 6 on the night. Atkins controls it back the other way. 3 up, no good. Rebound down low by Plainfield. Kurkowski now has it. Right side. Looks inside for Jensen. Jensen, quick handoff to Patton. Patton looks to drive in, and he traveled with it, so possession goes back to Whiteland.
In the game for Whiteland, number 10, Trent Sandlin.
Atkins will bring it up for the Warriors. Crossing the logo. Brings it over right wing. He puts up a wild shot off glass. Rebound down low by Mayberry. He looks to run. Mayberry will now drive it baseline. Looking. Kicks it back out. Mills can't handle it. And he'll recover it and reset the offense. Mills finds Kurkowski. He dribbles into the paint. Puts up a shot. And hits side iron. Rebound down low by Jensen. But he went out of bounds. I guess it was last touch, looks like, by Whiteland. So possession will stay with Plainfield. Jensen looks to inbound. Looks for Kurkowski, doesn't find him. Kicks it up to Patton at the top of the key. He'll hand off to Mayberry to reset. Mayberry controls, top of the key, looks over right side for Patton. Patton almost had it poked away, but being called for the reach-in foul will be Hubler. That's his first, team's first of the second half.
John Hubler, his first foul, team foul number 2.
Jensen inbound, kicks out into the backcourt for Mayberry, who will slowly bring it back up. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Of course, the weather being as it is, I'm hoping you find yourself nice and cozy up and home. Mayberry has it, left corner. He rotates it into Jensen, baseline, layup, good. He's having a very, very quiet night as Jensen. That's only his first bucket of the game. He was the leading scorer for Plainfield last game. And Coach Wadsworth will take the timeout for Whiteland as Plainfield extends their lead to 10, 29-19. As I was just talking about, Jensen was the leading scorer last that time out for Plainfield. He did have 14 points as well as 6 rebounds and an assist, but that's his first 2 points for the game. So once again, very, very balanced scoring has for the Plainfield Quakers offense. I've continued to be impressed. This is only my second game for Plainfield. Typically, I was scheduled to do Decatur, but of course with the weather, they canceled their athletic events for tonight, so I found myself here at Plainfield once again, which is a good thing because I'm starting to get all ready to know the players. But I've been really impressed with what I've seen from Nathan Mills and Max Kurkowski. The freshman-sophomore combo have looked very impressive, both very, very long and athletic. As Patton got tangled up going for the loose ball into the crowd. Like the effort, though. Hubler will inbound for the Warriors. Finds Stidham. Stidham controls. Looks to drive against Mills. Kicks it back out. Now controlled top of the key by Sandlin. Sandlin's picked up by Mayberry. Rotates it over left side for Hubler. Hubler lost the handle, but Patton was the one that stripped it away, so possession will stay with Whiteland, who need an inbound man at some point. It looks like Hubler will rotate himself over to inbound. Hubler finds Sandlin in the backcourt. He'll work against Mayberry to recross the timeline. Using a spin move. Looks right side for Hubler. Puts up a 3 that was well contested. And it's rebounded down low and put back up and in by Bryce Staker. That's his first 2 of the night. Mayberry will cross the logo, control top of the key, hands off to Jensen right side. He looks inside for Mills, poked away, picked back up by Kurkowski. Now it finds its way over to Mayberry, left corner. Kicks it back up, Jensen, far side. Thought about the long shot, will look instead and hand back off to Jensen. We'll check that Mayberry. Back to Jensen. Jensen lobs it in for Mills. He goes up with it strong and can't get the friendly roll. Rebound down low by Warriors, who look to run. Stidham realized he didn't have the numbers and pulls back. And Hubler will control it, and he'll kick it up to Tom Purdy, who will then take it the length of the lane up and in for the layup. Quakers 29-23. The lead gets a little bit narrowed down. 4:25 left to go in the third. Mayberry will control top of the key. And Jensen will be called for an offensive foul, trying to set the screen for Kurkowski. That is Jensen's second, team's first of the second half.
Fouls on Bobby Jensen, the second foul. Team foul number 1 in the second half. Into the game for Whiteland, number 4.
Nichols and Maple check in for Plainfield. So on the floor they have Patton, Nichols, Kurkowski, Mills, and Maple. Moss will control it on the right side for the Warriors. Brings it over left side. Looks over to the right for Sandlin. Kicks it in to Staker, who lost the handle. It's picked up by Patton, and will hand off to Nichols to slow it down. Back over to Patton, near side. Kicks it up to Kurkowski at the top of the key. And stolen by Moss with the great behind the back save. Back the other way for the Warriors. Putting it up, and Whiteland faithful that are here wanted the foul, did not get it. As putting it up was Hubler, who looks to be raked across the head. That's what the Whiteland crowd wanted. The Plainfield student sections cheering, they got swatted. So either way, Whiteland will inbound. As a holding foul whistled down low. It's Maple's second, team's second. Inbounds goes to Hubler, who puts up a wild three and airballs it. Hubler's put up a couple of those threes that were wild and very contested. And they'll check out of the game in place of, Purdy will come in place of Hubler. As Coach Wadsworth will talk to him. Mills the inbound, kicks it to Kurkowski. Kurkowski will rotate it to Nichols, who will slow it down to bring it up for the Quakers. Crosses the logo where he's picked up by Moss, brings over right side, looks up top of the key for Mills, rotates over left side for Patton. Kurkowski, curl three, no good. Rebounded down low by Moss, and he'll bring it back the other way for the Warriors. He'll control top of the key, rotates it around, drives into the paint, hand off, nice pass to Staker for two. Moss may be 5'7", but he knows how to draw the attention of the defense, and that was just a nice little handoff. Nichols back the other way, hands off to Patton, rotates it up top for Mills. Kurkowski now controls far side. He'll drive baseline, puts up the shot, does get nothing but net, but did not get it through the hoop as Mouse brings it back the other way. Floater no good. Staker tried to get the rebound put back, no good. Now Nichols will bring it back the other way for Plainfield. Nichols tried to catch them on a second break, no good. Kurkowski will shoot the long three from the left corner, no good. 4-point lead for the Quakers as Moss brings it back the other way. Rotating around for a wide open three that's right down central for Trent Sandlin. So that'll trim the lead down to just one, and it's a whole new ball game now. 2:20 left to go in the third. Nichols will bring it back the other way for Plainfield, who will reset the offense. He's guarded one-on-one against Moss, and whistle for a equipment malfunction as Nichols' shoe is untied. So it'll be an official's timeout. But wholesale changes on the floor for the Quakers as Motter, Jensen, Nichols, Patton, and Mills on the court for the Quakers. Nichols controls it. Top of the key is guarded by Moss. Rotates over right side for Patton. Patton looks over right corner for Nichols. He kicks it back up top for a Motter three. Nice rainbow arc, but hits nothing but front iron. And Warriors will come back the other way. Moss now has it. Thought about the three from the left corner. They'll throw it wildly, and it's picked up by Patton, who carried it. Couldn't quite get the dribble under him as he was trying to drive into the open court. So possession will go back to Whiteland, who have a chance to take the lead. I believe it'll be their first lead of the night if they are able to take it. Moss now controls it, far side, crossover dribble, into the paint, throws it up, and they're going to say he traveled with it.
Into the game for Whiteland, number 3, Landry Long.
Inbounds pass goes to Motter. Looks like Moss over there on the bench is not very happy with himself after that travel. He'll be talked up with the coaches for Whiteland. But back the other way, Plainfield controls right side for Motter. He rotates over to the top of the key for Patton. Patton looks inside for Jensen. Kicks it right back out to Motter. Motter almost lost the dribble, but instead finds Patton. He looks to drive into the paint, finds Mills, baseline jumper, no good. Rebound down low by Whiteland. Whiteland looks to push in the open floor. Top of the keys, controlled by Long. Long three, no good by Purdy. And whistled down low. See what the call is. It's by Landry Long. That's his first. Team's third. Full court pressure now being applied by Whiteland. Jensen will be the inbound man. He finds Nichols, who will slowly bring it up and cross the logo for Plainfield. They'll control top of the key, looks over right side for Motter. Motter controls near side. One-on-one against Long. Looks to use the Jensen screen, goes back the opposite way. Had Jensen on the pick and roll, but missed him. But Nichols will now control it. He looks to drive baseline, kicks it to Mills. Mills had a nice, decent look, but kicks it out for a better look from Motter. He can't get the three to go, and it's rebounded down low by Purdy. Whiteland will bring it back the other way as Long controls it. 4 seconds. Having to put up the shot. High arcing, no good from Hubler, who since he hit his first three has not been able to really find the bottom of the barrel. And that'll bring us into the third, where the Quakers have a 1-point lead over Whiteland. You're listening to Plainfield Varsity Basketball on AudioSportsOnline.com. It's our pleasure to bring you the broadcast tonight. I'm JP Sinclair, and as I talked about in the pregame, it's always nice to know that what we do is very appreciated, as I've already did one shout-out, but I'll do another to Foxy Roxy in Wisconsin. That's Max Kurkowski's aunt. It's always great knowing that Audio Sports Online has that kind of coverage, where if you're trying to see your niece or nephew or grandson or what have you try and play in a game, you're able to see it here on AudioSportsOnline.com. Archive footage is also available on the website. If you're also interested in a little bit more of what I do, you can check me out. I host the McDonald's Hendricks County Sports Show. That's also available on AudioSportsOnline.com. Our first episode was this week. We talked to Brownsburg head coach Steve Lynch, and also looked around at some of the winter sports getting started in Hendricks County. And Plainfield will control on the court out of the timeout. Mayberry, Mills, Nichols, Jensen, and Kurkowski. Mills controls near side. Kicks it up top from Nichols. He looks over for Kurkowski. Kurkowski now looks to drive on the pick and roll. Look for Jensen. Lost the handle. Kicks it outside to Mayberry. Puts it up to Jensen. Jensen fighting for his own rebound. Gets it up and in. Jensen just looked like a man that was not going to be denied on his way to the bucket. And Quakers take a 31-28 lead. Back the other way, Hubler fakes a three, goes in for the floater in the lane, no good, put up and in by Stidham.
Basket by Jacob Stidham.
Nichols will bring it back the other way for Plainfield, who looks to push the pace. Jensen lost it out of bounds on the pass. Looked to make his move before he had caught the ball, almost like a receiver in football. He turned his head before he caught it.
In the game, good witness, number 11, Garrett Patton.
Full court pressure being applied by Plainfield. Moss will break it, dribble into the lane. Oh, great pass, but missing and losing the handle down low was Stidham. Moss found him right underneath the basket, and he just lost it on the way up. But Plainfield got a hand on it before it went out of bounds, so possession will stay with Whiteland. Moss to inbound. Hubler has it, almost poked away by Patton. Hubler drives in the lane, kicks out three on its way. No good from Atkins. Rebound down low will be cleared by Mills, and he'll hand off to Mayberry. And Hubler looks to have a bloody nose, so he'll have to check out of the game. Refs will make sure there's no blood on the court. Doesn't appear to be, as he'll get looked at by the trainers.
In the game, your Quakers, number 31, Max Kurkowski.
Kurkowski checks back in for Plainfield. Nichols, Mayberry, Kurkowski, Mills, and Jensen all on the floor. Very tall lineup there in the front court. Jensen to inbound, kicks in the backcourt from Mayberry, who will slow it down. Quakers lead by 1, 31-30, 6:48 left to go in the ballgame. Mayberry controls, top of the key, finds Nichols. Nichols looks to make his move, but there'll be a foul whistle before he can.
Foul's on Trent Sandlin, his first foul, team foul number 4.
Foul is on Trent Sandlin. That's his first team foul. Team's fourth. Kurkowski will receive it on the inbound. Goes up strong baseline, but he'll be blocked down low. Great defense there from Whiteland. Nichols to inbound. Jensen and Kurkowski went the same way off the pick, but Mayberry gets it, throws up the wild shot, no good. Rebound down low by Nichols. Had it knocked away. Should be out of bounds. Last touch by Whiteland. Actually might call a foul here. And it's on Sandlin. That's his second. Team spot fifth. So very quickly, the Quakers are looking to draw some fouls and get to the free throw line a little bit more. Only went there 3 times in the first half, but that one is up and in by Nichols. At the line for the second free throw is Nichols. His shot up and in. Plainfield is a perfect 5 of 5 on the night thus far from the free throw lines. Atkins will control, avoids the full court press, and hands off to Moss. And once they cross it, Whiteland's not looking to slow down. Moss controls it, top of the key, and he will slow it down. Almost lost the handle as he was trying to find Purdy. Back to Moss. Moss dribbles into the lane, throws up a wild shot, no good, and he will cross the baseline, and it'll be a turnover.
Number 30, Michael Valley. And for your Quakers, number 31, Max Kurkowski.
Tell you what, Tyree Moss is a fun one to watch. The sophomore from Whiteland, 5'7" guard. He plays with a passion. Kind of reminds me of an Earl Boykins trying to manufacture a shot against taller defenders. If he ever gets that down, he could be a real nice asset there for the Warriors. Nichols controls, finds Kurkowski left side, drives baseline, looks to go up strong, and it's rebounded down low by Whiteland. Whiteland now with a 3-on-2 break. All the way up and in is Trent Sandlin. Coast to coast for the layup. 33-32, 5:39. Game gets a little bit tighter now. Mayberry controls, top of the key. Rotates it over left side for Mills. Mills will drive into the painted area, puts up the floating layup, up and in. Mills now with 10 points on the night. Moss brings it back the other way. Top of the key. Uses a Purdy pick, and it'll be an illegal screen. So foul will be on Purdy. That is his second, team 6. 5:13 left to go. 35-32 lead for the Quakers. On the floor, Kurkowski, Jensen, Nichols, Mayberry, and Mills. Kurkowski controls, right side, kicks it over to Mayberry, right corner, now up top for Nichols, rotates it over to Kurkowski, puts up a 3, nothing but the bottom of the barrel again for Kurkowski. That's his third 3 on the night. Had defensive pressure in his face, but it didn't seem to matter much. I'll tell you what, head coach Weaver was very excited there, seeing the sophomore hit the big 3. Back the other way, Purdy has it, kicks it over to Stidham, down low, and a rebound is cleared by Jensen. So 38-32 lead now for the Quakers. Mayberry controls top of the key, rotates it over right side for Nichols, back up top to Mayberry. Kurkowski now, 3 again, on its way and in! Kurkowski is letting it fly, and it is working tonight. That is his 4th 3 on the night for Max Kurkowski. He is putting up a decent number now from beyond the arc. Kurkowski has very, very nice size. He's a 6'5" sophomore guard / forward. You can see where the guard influence is because he has the ability, despite the 6'5" height, to really be able to handle it from the outer arc, and the way he shoots it from 3 really stretches the defense. I mean, you got to think 6'5", that ties for the tallest player on the floor. Him and Bobby Jensen, the senior, are the only 2 players on this Plainfield roster to be 6'5". Nathan Mills is very close with 6'4", but the way he shoots it from outside with touch really stretches the defense, and that's what it's done here tonight as the Quakers now push to a 9-point lead, 41-32 with 4:12 left to go in the game. I'll tell you what, this Plainfield team may be young, but the experience is coming very quickly. Hubler's back in there, does have the stuffing up his nose to prevent the bleeding. See if that hampers his shot or anything like that. Very nice to see him toughing it out. Rebound is cleared by Jensen. He'll hand off to Nichols. Nichols crosses the timeline where he's guarded closely by Huber. Finds Patton. Now rotates up top for Mills. Mills back to Patton. Near side. Kicks it over to Nichols. Top of the key. Nichols hands off to Patton, who's guarded closely by Hubler. He'll hand off to Kurkowski, who lost the handle. And they're going to say it's out of bounds. Last touch by Whiteland. That's a tough call. But the Plainfield Quakers will take any break they can get. And Jensen will inbound. He'll find Nichols. And Nichols will work it against Hubler. Picks up his dribble, rotates it over to Mayberry. Now Kurkowski thought about the corner 3, but rotates it on the rainbow pass to Nichols. Had the 3, but kicks it back to Jensen. Now he'll take the 3, and Nichols is short on the attempt. And it's rebounded by Atkins. Atkins looks to push, goes one-on-one against Mayberry, throws up a prayer of a layup and gets it answered as it goes in for 2. That is Atkins' first point of the night. Back the other way, Jensen had it, throws it in the backcourt, and it'll be deflected by Whiteland, so Mayberry will be able to control it without getting the over and back call. And he'll control top of the key. 41-34, 2:47 left to go. Double team comes. Mayberry avoids it, kicks it to Kurkowski, who made a move a little too quickly and almost lost the handle, but he'll kick it back to Nichols. Rotates it over to Mayberry. Mayberry will look to reset the offense from the far side. Double comes in the half-court trap, and head coach Weaver will take the timeout. 41-34 is the score. You're listening to Plainfield Varsity Basketball on AudioSportsOnline.com. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Plainfield Self-Storage. Plainfield Self-Storage is located on North Carl Road. They feature 24-hour access and lighted secure storage. Plainfield Self-Storage's office hours are Monday through Friday, 8:30 until 5. You can stop in or call 838-7027 for more information. Jensen Pools and More, the backyard place, located just 1 mile north of Heartland Crossing on Highway 67 in Canby. They have everything for all your swimming pool needs, from above-ground pools to in-ground pools. Jensen sells and installs them all, and during the winter months, they offer mattresses direct from the factory of Kingsport, a leading manufacturer of American-made mattresses. Queen set starting at $329, king set starting at $429. Guaranteed lowest prices around. Jensen Pools is located at 7302 South Kentucky Avenue in Canby, or you can visit them online at jensenpools.com. As we talked about on McDonald-Tenders County Sports Co., taking a look now for Plainfield. I mean, the girls' team is now 2-1 on the year, having gotten wins over Danville and Southport, but they did drop their last game 51-80 to undefeated Rushville. Their next game is at Terre Haute South Vigo on December 14th. In wrestling, the Quakers, where they were in action at the Super 6 meet on November 23rd at Mooresville. Tell you the results of that upcoming shortly. Mayberry gets the inbounds pass from Jensen, kicks it back to Jensen, who got caught. He'll dribble out of it, finds Nichols on the left corner. He'll dribble it all the way to the top of the key and hand off to Mayberry. Mayberry now controls and will be bumped at the hip. Foul will be on Moss. That's his first, team 7th. So free throws upcoming for Mayberry. As I was saying, the wrestling Quakers, they were in action at the Super 6 meet on November 23rd at Mooresville. They were defeated by Cascade 43-27. They also lost to Mooresville 37-30, but they did defeat Washington 66-12, and they also defeated Greencastle 56-18. And Tri-West 51-27 as Mayberry's first free throw is up and in to bring him to 4 points on the night. They will play Cascade again in Clayton on December 11th. And swimming and diving, Plainfield also defeated Greenwood with the score of 223 in their first meet of the season. Mayberry's second free throw is also up and in. 43-34 is the score, 2:15 left to go before the final horn sounds. Moss controls top of the key, puts up a three, no good off back iron, rebounded down low by Jensen. He'll clear it and hand it to Mayberry. Mayberry guarded very closely by Moss. And he'll cross the timeline now. I believe they called him, not sure what the call was. Possession they're indicating is going back to Whiteland. Must have been a discontinued dribble for Mayberry. I don't think he went over and back. I didn't see that signal. But either way, Whiteland will control. Moss has it. Top of the key for Plainfield. Brings it over far side. And a very quick three up. No good by Long. Rebound is cleared by Mills on the long rebound. Mayberry brings it back the other way. Dribbles into the paint. Hands off to Jensen, who can't get the layup on the floor, picked up by great hustle from Plainfield as Jensen now controls it, kicks it back up top for Patton. I'll tell you what, Mayberry was diving for the loose ball and he kicked it out, and then I believe it was Patton on the near side went diving for it and stole it away, and that will also draw a foul on Moss, or check that. Foul is on Hubler. That's his second, team's 8th. So Mayberry will go back to the line. But I'll tell you what, the hustle was right there for Plainfield as they're trying to seal this game. Mayberry's first free throw, only free throw, is no good off back iron, but it's out of bounds. Last touch by Whiteland. So there's a bonus shot there for Mayberry as they'll take a seat. On the floor for the Quakers, you have Motter, Nichols, Kurkowski, Mills, and Jensen. Nichols controls it, and he'll be fouled very quickly by Sandlin, that's his third.
That's his third foul.
As Whiteland's trying to slow the pace down by fouling. So Nichols will go to the line.
Quakers number 11, Garrett Patton, and for White number 3, Landry Long, and number 4, Teray Moss.
Nichols has been at the free throw line already. He's 2 of 2. Looks to make it 3 of 3. First free throw up and in to push the lead to 10 for the Quakers. As we close in on 10 o'clock here in the Indianapolis area, the second free throw up and in as well for Nichols. 45-34 is the score, 1:15 left to go. Timeout called by Wadsworth. This will be a very solid win to put the Plainfield Quakers one-on-one on the season. After dropping a very, very one-sided loss to Avon, they have been able to rebound here tonight against Whiteland, so that's a very good sign. As we talked about, this is a very young team. I mean, coming into the year, you look at it, you've only got 2 seniors on the roster, Jensen and Mayberry, and then a handful of juniors, and then a couple of sophomores, and then, of course, the freshmen in Mills. So, I mean, anytime you typically only have 2 seniors, it just tells you how young of a team that you have, and head coach Andy Weaver's starting to turn this team around. He knew it would take a little bit to get this team going in the right direction, but thus far they have been able to slowly turn the corners here, and it's showing here tonight against Whiteland. Inbound is controlled by Moss for the Warriors. He'll bring it up. Started one-on-one against Patton. Crosses the logo and brings it over far side. Drives in the corner, kicks it out to Hubler. Hubler thought about the 3, does take up the 3, and this time gets it to go. Back the other way comes Kurkowski, and he'll get hacked as he looked to make a move towards the basket by Purdy. That's his third foul, and that'll send Kurkowski to the line. Kurkowski's already 2 of 2 on the night at the free throw line. First free throw finds its way in for Kurkowski. Brings them 3 of 3 and pushes the lead to 9 in favor of the Quakers. This free throw could make it 10 with 53 seconds left to go. No good off back iron. Rebounded down low by Patton. And getting the steal was long for Whiteland, but he was out of bounds when he got possession of it, so possession will stay with Plainfield.
Into the game for Quakers number 15, Kyler Nichols, and number 10, Keegan Monitor.
Jensen to inbound. Looks over the right side for Motter, and he'll quickly be fouled by Long to send him to the line. That's Long's second. Team's in the bonus, so team foul doesn't really matter at this point because it'll be free throws regardless. Some of the crowd starting to file out as 48 seconds are left on the clock, but Whiteland's still trying to extend the game. As the free throw up, no good by Motter, bounced off back iron. A lot of people don't like the philosophy that if you're down by a certain amount with whatever time, you foul, and, it's a good strategy. A lot of people don't like it because it slows down the pace of the game, but you never know what can happen. As Motter hits the second. I'm a huge Pacer fan, got to see the Pacers play against Portland this week, and I'll tell you what, I thought anything could happen with the way that one was going down the stretch. So you always have a chance to claw your way back into any game, as Reggie Miller always taught me as a Pacer fan. The layup no good by Moss, but a foul is whistled down low. Walking back the other way, so indication would be it's on Whiteland.
Fouls on Dwight Staker, his second foul.
It's on Staker.
Nathan Mills.
That is his second. So Mills will go to the line. Has not been there tonight. First free throw, no good for Mills as it rattles out.
The Quakers number 3, James Mayberry.
That was Mills' first free throw of the year. He did not shoot any against Avon. Second free throw by Mills, up and in. 48-37, 39 seconds left to go. Moss brings it up the other way for Whiteland, near side. Looks over right side for Hubler. Puts up a contested three and does not get the friendly roll. Be out of bounds. Last touch by Plainfield. 48-37, 26 seconds left to go. Moss to inbound. Finds Hubler. Three on its way. No good. Rebounded down below by Patton. And Patton will go to the line for two.
Fouls on Landry Long, his third foul. Shooting the double bonus here at Patton.
Patton is 1 of 1 at the night at the free throw line. This one up and in. Brings his total on the night to 2. Has a chance to make it 3 with this free throw. Quakers lead 49-37, 21 seconds left to go, and that one rattles out. Back the other way comes Moss, finds Hubler. Long three, nothing but the bottom of the barrel. So Hubler is, while he may miss, he's pretty unconscious from beyond the arc. And once again, the Whiteland Warriors will foul. 6 seconds left to go. That's Hubler's third.
Eliminating for your Quakers, number 23, Clarence Jackson, number 13, Reese Crawford, number 20, Dan Rottenschlager, and number 32, Bryson Ellis.
So the free throw from Mayberry is no good. Lots of changes on the floor. Clarence Jackson as well as Lautenschlager, Mayberry, Reese Crawford, and Bryson Ellis on the floor for Plainfield, seeing some action with 2 seconds left to go. And the long three, no good. And that'll do it. So Plainfield gets the win 50-40, and they'll do the standard handshake. Great win for Plainfield to get their first win of the season. I'll tell you what, Krakowski and Mills were very impressive. As Plainfield goes off the court, we'll hear it from the crowd and student section. So great win for head coach Andy Weaver. So we'll take a quick timeout and we'll come back and review the game for you and bring you the final statistics. You're listening to AudioSportsOnline.com coverage of Plainfield High School basketball.
Quaker fans, next game for your Quakers will be at Martinsville this coming Friday, December 13th. And the next home game will be Saturday, December 14th versus Bloomington North. For both games, the JV will begin at 6 p.m. The varsity game will begin at 7:30 p.m. Please look around you, pick up any trash you may find and place it to the trash cans to leave the building. On behalf of Plainfield and Whiteland Community High Schools, we thank you for your attendance. Please be careful as you drive home. Have a safe and good night.
Welcome back to Plainfield High School, where the Plainfield High School Quakers come away with the victory over the Whiteland Warriors. They win 52-40. This is the AudioSportsOnline.com post game. I'll tell you what, it was a great win for Plainfield. Let's go over the final statistics for you. Plainfield was led by Max Kurkowski. He finished with 15. He hit 4 3-pointers in the game to lead all scorers in the game. Also, Nathan Mills had a very solid night, the freshman. He had it going early. Finished with 11 points, mostly hitting his outside jumper. And then the Quakers also got contribution from Kyler Nichols, who had 6. Mayberry with 5. Jensen and Motter each had 4, and then 2 apiece from Maple and Patton. For Whiteland, their leading scorer was John Hubler. He had it going not necessarily most of the night, but did have a lot of good threes in the game. Some of them were very exciting. He was pretty much unconscious. It didn't matter. He was going to put up the shot. He had 3 threes on the night, and his total point outage was 13. They also got 6 from Stidham. Moss and Sandlin each tipped in 4 apiece, as well as Staker had 4, and then they got 2 apiece from Atkins and Bergeline. Those are the final statistics. To reset the scene for you, Plainfield got the win. They controlled the game pretty much throughout. Give credit to Whiteland for staying in, fighting in the game. As I talked about the foul situation down the end of it, I'm a firm believer. I'm not a head coach or anything, and as a fan, I do not like the fact that it slows down the game. But either way, I like seeing a team, no matter what the clock says, no matter what the score is, if you're down and you know you have somewhat of a chance to get into it, to take the foul, particularly late in-game situations, and try and hit quick ducats on the other end to get themselves back in it. So I do not fault Whiteland at all for doing that. So great to see the fight in them all the way to the end of the final horn. So player of the game, if I had to give it to anybody, would be Max Kurkowski. Like I said, he was unconscious from outside the arc, defender in his face. It just did not matter. So those are the final statistics. Player of the game. It was a very nice night from the fans here from Plainfield, as they got a lot of good fans. Like I said, the student section particularly brought a smile to my face. All kinds of different jerseys from the throwback, if you will. Really saw everything from Rick Smits to Reggie Miller. Even saw some old school Clyde Drexler jerseys, Kobe Bryant jerseys, he's number 8. So lots of interesting jerseys on the student section from Throwback Night. So let's go take a look at the next game for Plainfield. They'll be back in action December 13th against Martinsville. That game tips at 7:30. Not sure if we'll have it online for you from Martinsville. I can check that for you real quick. But either way, I mean, it was a good solid win to get them on the board and get them going in the right direction after they dropped the tough loss to Avon. But I'll tell you what, Kurkowski had it going on from long range. Mills was hitting the outside shot. This team is very young, but when they get it going like that, it's a very nice thing to see. And Kurkowski was really, really nice. And, you get experience by getting on the floor. And I think head coach Weaver really recognized that and was trying to get Kurkowski played a lot more minutes. Mills got the start when he didn't get the start last time. We will not have that game against Martinsville. Our next coverage of Plainfield High School basketball will be December 14th here at home against Bloomington North. So you can join us for that game. But we will not have coverage of the Martinsville game. Do apologize for that, but you can always go online and look at the archive footage of tonight's game or Avon's game. So that is another option that's available to you. This has been the post-game show on audiosportsonline.com. Thank you for joining us today. It has certainly been our pleasure to be invited into your Friday night. Thank you again to Plainfield High School and Athletic Director Dana Green for hosting us here tonight. Again, the final score, Plainfield 50, Whiteland 40. Definitely, if you're driving anywhere tonight, have a very, very safe and happy weekend with the conditions out there. Do your best to stay warm and stay safe. So this is JP Sinclair. Have a good weekend.